Welcome to Real Talk with Liza, where conversations expand minds, open hearts, and guide you to heal within. Liza Boubari is your go-to expert and trusted guide in personal growth, mind-body wellness, and transformation. With over 2 decades of experience as a clinical hypnotherapist, wellness expert, and speaker, she helps individuals realize emotional blocks, resetting limiting beliefs, and reclaim their power. Liza empowers you to break patterns, shift energy, and create meaningful change because you are more than your past. You are more than your fears, and yes, you matter. Ready to take the next step? Call 818-221-2797 or visit realtalk870.com to connect. And now, your host, Liza Boubari.
Good evening, everyone. It's so good to be here with you, isn't it? Welcome to Real Talk with Liza. I am your host, Liza Boubari, and I am thrilled you're joining me tonight for another insightful episode. Actually, in the next few minutes, I want to share a little bit about my work and what is it that I do and how I can be of help to you on your journey to living a more fulfilled, confident, and purposeful life. So as a clinical hypnotherapist, practicing for over 24 years, I'm also a speaker, author, stress management consultant, and I help individuals just like you overcoming limiting beliefs, manage stress, boost your confidence, and make lasting changes in your life. You know, hypnotherapy is such a powerful tool that works directly with your subconscious mind. And what we do is reframe negative thoughts and behaviors. That's it. So I want you to consider your subconscious mind to be just like that black box in an airplane. All the information, everything is right there. Actually, frankly, if I were to pick up this phone, the subconscious mind is that little chip inside the phone that all the information is there. And although you have all the pictures, the apps, and everything in your life, your memories, experiences, what's tapped into that subconscious mind is where all the blueprint of everything about your behaviors and habits are. So whether it's overcoming anxiety, reducing stress, perhaps even improving your sleep patterns or breaking free from unhealthy habits such as eating, drinking, smoking, I don't know. But hypnotherapy is an incredible, effective way, a tool to tap in to unlock that potential and achieving lasting transformation. So, did you know, I don't know, wherever you are, either in your car, at home, sitting, no matter where you are, did you know that you go in and out of trance all day long? When you're driving, it's just like the GPS. You sit in the car, you trust your car, you start the ignition. I know so many years ago it was a key. Now all you have to do is push a button and you trust the car starting, and you go from one place to another, and you arrive at your destination without thinking about it. What we call you've been in a trance state. You talk, you listen to the music, you maybe even have a drink or whatever it is, conversations in the car, you're singing, and you get to your destination. And that in itself is a trance state. You may even be in front of the TV watching something, and then the commercial comes on, you doze off. The moment commercial goes off, you start watching the film again. And that's you going into that trance state, which is a slight way of saying you're in hypnosis. Why? Because we bypass that critical, analyzing, judging, reasoning part of the conscious mind, and we tap into the subconscious. So I've worked with clients from all walks of life, helping them heal emotional wounds from the past and clarity, and release old patterns that no longer serve them. And if you're struggling with self-doubt, stress, anxiety, even pain, because if I can hypnotize myself, which is self-hypnosis, and have 8 root canals with absolutely no anesthesia, not even a topical on my gums, believe me that you too can have the tools and learning how to do that self-hypnosis to bypass the pain factor. Okay? That in itself, I also work with managing weight. And it's not always about the diets, about the eating or the exercises, but the weight that you put on to protect yourself. It's an emotional weight. It's an energetic weight, even a mental weight, a burden that you have been carrying. And that is exactly what we do. Peel away the layers and layers. So, understanding certain parts of that, hypnotherapy can truly help you shift your mindset and get back to the best version of what it is that you want. So, I have this 3E, which I say evoke, embrace, evolve. Everything I do is on that. And what does that mean? We evoke, that means bring forth something from the past, your history. So just like a lotus, we evoke or bring it to the surface so that you have an understanding. In order for you to embrace the reality, the present, right here, right now. And that's the only way you can evolve to your desired goal. Because if everything is suppressed, then how would you really know where you want to be? I also offer a variety of books and audio recordings on my website that can support you along your journey, your healing journey. You can check out those titles like Heal Thy Mind Body, Stand Up to Slim Down, or even Stomp on Smoking, because when you stomp on that thing, you know that you are ready to stop smoking. And through hypnosis, I have audio recordings like Relax and Unwind, Stress No More, Deep Sleep, even for ladies with menopause and everything. So those resources can be found with powerful tools that I bring for healing, clarity, and peace on lizaboubari.com or Heal Within. So if you're ready to create a life that it's in alignment with your highest potential, I invite you to explore the resources on my website, lizaboubari.com. You can also call me at my office, 818-221-2797. So, let's dive into tonight's show, where we explore the power of happiness, meaning, and transformation with our incredible guest. And I'm not going to announce who it is because, of course, some of you do know. But for those of you who are driving, you've got something experiential. It's going to be amazing. So stay tuned. I want you to stay with us. With that, let's take a nice deep breath. And always remember, I will have a quote for you at the end of the show.
You're listening to Real Talk with Lisa, where conversations expand minds, open hearts, and guide you to heal within. Your host, Liza Boubari, is your go-to expert in the powers of mind, body, wellness, and transformation. With over 20 years of experience as a clinical hypnotherapist, stress management consultant, and speaker, she helps individuals like you go from pain to gain, releasing emotional blocks, resetting limiting beliefs, and reclaiming your power. Because you're more than your past, more than your fears, and yes, you do matter. Take the next step. Call 818-221-2797. Again, 818-221-2797. Or visit realtalk870.com. Now, let's get back to Real Talk with your host, Liza
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Real Talk with Liza right here on AM 870 The Answer. Phone lines will be open. I want to hear from you. Dial toll free 866-870-5752. Let me say that again, 870-5752. So today I have my first guest. Hello, Maria.
Hello, and what an honor to be your first guest. Thank you so much.
This is amazing. Allow me to do a small little introduction about you. Okay. So my first guest, I met you, when was it? 10 years ago.
Probably about 10 years ago.
Yeah. I call him my Greek Buddha. So we have a mutual friend, and it was her son's christening. That's where we met. And I want to say thank you to Anna for making this happen.
Anna Demergis.
Yes, she is listening. I bet she's listening right now. So Maria Baltazzi is a Los Angeles-based television producer known for her work in unscripted programming, particularly in the adventure and documentary series. Her career has been marked by both critical acclaim and commercial success. Additionally, she's a well-being teacher, transformational traveler, designer, and author. Actually, I think she is more of a Dr. Maria, right? Yes. In 2023, Maria published Take a Shot at Happiness, How to Write, Direct, and Produce the Life That You Want. This book blends insights from science and spirituality to help readers achieve great happiness. It offers practical steps and immersive activities that combine phone photography and journaling, prompts aid at fostering self-reflection and personal growth. Actually, Maria's approach to exploring happiness has been recognized for its creativity and innovation. Take a Shot at Happiness has been recognized by several organizations and New York City Book Award, Best Books Award, Nautilus Book Silver Award, Best Holistic Life Magazine, and Paris Books Festival, Hollywood Book Festival, Royal Dragonfly Books Award, and, I think what you have created is something beyond so many can even create. And not only that, her journey began with the television industry as one of the original supervising producers of the Emmy Award-winning series Survivor on CBS. Her work during the show early years helped shape its innovative storytelling, and audience engagement, contributing to Survivor becoming a cultural phenomenon. In 2001, she received an Emmy Award for her work on the first 2 seasons of Survivor and was nominated for an Emmy for Eco Challenge Borneo. Borneo, correct?
Yeah,
okay.
Borneo.
So, shall we dive in?
Wow, that was a heck of an introduction.
I know. I didn't want to let go of any part of this. You've worn so many hats in your career, from Emmy Award-winning producer to conscious luxury travel designer. What was the most pivotal moment that led you to blend in the adventure, creativity, and the well-being in the work that you do?
Well, I just got to a point where I bottomed out, where I felt that whose phone? Where I felt that nothing was working in life. I didn't feel that despite the Emmy and all of the other things that I was doing, I felt that I wasn't where I wanted to be professionally, and I certainly wasn't where I wanted to be personally. Mm-hmm. So those two not working, just sent me to a really dark place, and I didn't want to stay there. So sitting in my Los Angeles office where it was bright and sunny outside, it was pretty dark inside where I was working. And I just said, I don't want to be defined by this moment. I don't want to stay here. And I made a very conscious choice, which is what I advise everybody to do, is if you want to be happy, you have to make it a conscious choice, and then you have to do something about it, which is what I did. So
take action, right?
Take action. That's it. You can't, if you just say, oh, I want to be happy, and you don't do anything about it, then it's wishful thinking.
You know, that's one of the things that I say. People talk about affirmations. I think affirmations, cantations, everything, those are all great. But then what? You got to do something about it, because it's not, affirmations only cannot make you do something. It's the steps that we have to take in life.
Yeah.
So, of course, most of my clients who come to me are a lot of successful people, and they come and they say, I feel empty inside. Yeah. I want inner peace. I'm like busy outside. From the outside, everything is absolutely amazing. So how did you break that? I mean, office, Los Angeles, probably a very well-established, amazing place, successful from the outside and yet not inside. Yeah. So what was that pivotal moment? What was that decision? What did you do? You said, okay, I'm done. And then what?
That was it. I said, I'm not going to stay here. I'm not going to be defined by this. And I started reading. I started taking courses, and then eventually those courses became certifications and eventually a PhD. And it was fairly early in my journey that I had the intention that at some point I would write a book about the things that I felt were so helpful to me. Because it's not that I had a catastrophic accident that happened to me. I didn't have some life-threatening disease that took me out. I just wasn't happy.
Right.
And I wanted to write the book for other people similar to me in that, you don't have to have this catastrophic event in your life to realize it's not working as you wish and do something about it.
So you mean you don't have to hit rock bottom in order for you to get up?
I mean, emotionally, I hit rock bottom for me, but it wasn't a huge accident. It wasn't a major disease that did it. And I remember when 9/11 hit, and so many people around me were saying, "Gosh, now I know what's important to me." And I'm like, why didn't you know that before? Exactly. And it's because we are so caught up in our busyness and in the doing that we forget that we are human beings.
Exactly.
And to take that time to be reflective and think about, well, what does really make me happy? And that's what I encourage my readers to do, is to become what I've become, which is a happiness explorer.
Yes.
Where I write about the core values that most happy people embody.
Yeah, because you talk about the 8 happiness essentials in your book. So walk us through the 8 happiness. One is gratitude.
Well, the way I look at it, it's like I think it builds one on top of the other. I mean, yes, you can have all of those things. For me, I think it all starts with your faith. However you define it, it begins with your faith. What is it that you
believe in?
Where do you take your solace? Where do you find your hope? What is that entity that is bigger than you, whether you want to call it the creator, source, whatever. And you start with faith. And then faith comes love. And it's all loving relationships. It's not just the romantic love, it's the friendship love,
of
like
course.
the love you and I have as friends. And then out of that, it motivates you to want to take care of yourself in your health. So the third one would be your health in mind, body, and spirit. That it's three-dimensional. It's not just your physical
Exactly.
body. It's also it's a lot of what's going on in your head, and I think you certainly appreciate that. and
Well, mental aptitude is very important.
huge. I'm
Yes.
a big proponent of being aware of your thought and managing them. You know, a lot of what you talk about in your work, I completely support and practice myself. Not the hypnotherapy part, but the managing and awareness of your thoughts and thinking about how your subconscious is driving your behavior and what you can do about it. So after your health, that then comes to gratitude, and out of gratitude comes forgiveness. Out of forgiveness, there's that sense of peace. And then out of that is the ability to detachment. And when I say detach, it's not that you do not care. You care, but it's not in a way that is so clinging and actually causes suffering because you are holding on so tight to a particular result, how somebody should behave, that you can have your dreams, but you hold them a little bit lighter. And you open yourself to opportunities with that detachment, that letting go, that clinging, which then ultimately is abundance.
Right.
So to me, abundance is all of the other 7 things that I just listed that brings you to an abundant life, which is more than your bank account. It's a lot more than your bank account. It's being so appreciative for so many things in life and having that wealth of friendship, and I'll come to your health and all of those things.
You see, you nailed it, because a lot of people think abundance. I can't be happy unless. I can't do this unless. So there's always a criteria, a block they place upon themselves or before that. This can't happen unless this happens, right? So when you talk about doing something, and we are so busy, I think one of my things that I say is doing nothing is doing something.
Yeah.
It's just silence. Yeah. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars to go to a silent retreat for 2 days to have quiet and sit at peace when you can do the silent at home. Some people don't even have a door to their bathroom, and the kids can go in and out, and they say, I don't even have a place of my own. And I'm going, take a shower on your own. Go to the shower and take a shower. Hopefully you do have a curtain.
Yeah.
Right? So you just talked about the 8 essentials of the book, and you've had this incredible opportunity to lead marathons on 7 continents. We're going to be talking about those and their journeys and how each one of those matters to us as human beings. So please, the phone lines are open. I want to hear from you. Call in. You can ask questions from either myself or Maria. The number is 866-870-5752.
Our phone lines are now open, 866-870-5752. That's 866-870-KRLA. Now, let's get back to Real Talk with your host, Liza Boubari.
We are back, and I am here with my special guest, Maria Baltazzi. We've been talking about abundance. We're talking about happiness. And with your expertise in mindfulness, I know you are practicing that and well-being. How can people begin to cultivate a more mindful approach to their daily routine? How would you say we can do that?
Well, certainly meditation is a great practice to have. And a lot of people will say, well, I'm not very good at it. I have a lot of thoughts, and we're thinking beings, and it's okay to have thoughts. It's what you do with those thoughts in meditation, and that means you don't attach to them. Mm-hmm. As your thoughts come up, they're just like passing clouds against a sky. You know, you just let them go by. And
blow it away.
Yeah, that's what it is. That you don't need to, just because you have a thought, you don't need to attach to it and run off with a story. I mean, it's like, you know, a thought train. You can get on a train in Los Angeles and then suddenly mindlessly find yourself across the country. Or you can get on a train and then realize, oh, I'm in Vegas and I can get off here. I don't have to go all the way across the country. You know, you can become more aware of your thoughts. And so instead of writing a thought all the way to a destination that you don't want to go, you can become aware of your thoughts and get off of that thought. You reframe your thought. You consider, well, what is the lesson here? What is the reframe here? Instead of running off with the story. So that's what I mean about you don't have to ride these thought trains.
So that was a great way of saying it. I usually say every thought, it comes, doesn't have to stick. You can just let it go. Yeah. Right? So the concept of gratitude that you're talking about before, the first thing you said was faith. And having faith, how would we start with faith? You say the first is faith. Have faith in something. I mean, is that like a belief, or is it when we talk about God, is it universe? Is it what do we believe in?
And that's the exploration. You need to figure that out for yourself. So it's not you telling somebody how they should practice their faith, or me saying this is the way you have to practice your faith. It's you doing the exploration.
So do you have tools or ways of people to find how to explore?
Sure. I mean, it's I do, and it's as really as simple as read a book. You know, go to sample different faiths, go to different churches, go to a synagogue, go to a mosque. I mean, and engage in different conversations that will
expand your mind.
Right, exactly. And just really sit and think about it. You know, what do I believe in? And in my book, I have, a number of questions. Okay. But one of the question that I start with is, when you consider faith, how does that fit into your happiness? How does that fit into your happiness framework? And one of the things I want to just quickly go back to in terms of, where do you begin your journey? The other thing after meditation is, this is my favorite practice that I do every day throughout the day, which is called savoring the good. And it's really consciously looking for those moments that you can appreciate for 20 to 30 seconds.
30 seconds. That's easy.
Yeah, 20 to 30 seconds. And when you savor, when you take a moment to look at that garden rose that's perfectly lit with the morning sun, or you take a moment to really enjoy that cup of coffee, or you take a moment to really enjoy a conversation that you're having, that you consciously sit in that moment for 20 to 30 seconds. You do that consistently enough. What you're doing is you're rewiring your brain. So you are creating a positive neural pathway away from the negative and towards the good,
right?
Which is why you call it savoring the good. So that's a simple action that anybody can start doing right now.
Cherish the moment,
but hold it.
Okay.
Not just say, oh, that's nice, and you breeze through it. You really have to
stay with it.
You have to stay with it because you want to install it as a memory,
right?
And you want it as a positive memory.
Bank it in.
Yeah. So that's a huge one for me. The other one is thought stopping, which comes from cognitive behavior therapy. So if you're wearing like a rubber band around your wrist, or you can clap your hands. So when you use meditation to become more mindful and aware of your thoughts, so when you're having thoughts that aren't productive,
right,
that are negative, that aren't serving you, you literally clap your hands, snap your fingers, snap a wrist rubber band around your wrist, and what you're doing is you're literally startling your thoughts.
Right.
And in that moment, you can choose another thought.
Ah, that's a great tool.
Yes. So those are my 3 immediate go-tos. Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Okay. So let's dive in, because you have done a lot of traveling. I remember not the first time, but it was one time we were sitting and we were talking, and you were talking about the travels you had done and the photography and everything that you were doing. You've had the privilege of guiding groups on transformative travels like the Camino de Santiago and the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro. What do these experiences teach us about overcoming challenges and finding joy in the journey?
Well,
I mean, those are challenges.
Those are challenges. They really are, and they become their own spiritual journey. The Camino de Santiago is a spiritual pilgrimage.
It's like a pilgrimage, right?
Right. And even climbing Kilimanjaro, when I took one of my groups, the entire time we talked about spirituality.
So and how big of a group is it? Like 5, 10 people?
Yes,
okay.
I keep my group small, so you can really have that intimate experience. We would meditate. We would meditate every day before our dinner. We would get up really early in the morning to climb, but when we were doing the Kilimanjaro.
Exactly.
Yeah. So every day before dinner we would do a meditation, and then all day long we would have these really deep conversations about life and how you view life and your spirituality. And taking yourself out of your environment. You don't have...
You mean your comfort zone?
Well, your comfort zone, but your everyday living. Mm-hmm. So you're not thinking about, I've got to drop off the kids, I've got to go grocery shopping. You are out of your everyday space. So it's freeing, so you can think about other things. And when you are also being challenged, you come to the end of the day and you have a certain pride in yourself for being able to walk so many miles a day or climb, so many feet a day. When I first did Kilimanjaro, I had never climbed a mountain.
What?
I had never climbed a mountain. I was in training, and I was at the foot of that mountain, and I was so afraid. I didn't know how I would do at altitude. I didn't even want to look up at the summit because it seemed so far to me. So I took the philosophy of my Greek mother, which was bean by bean fills the bag, and I just looked at one foot, then the next foot, and then, my steps took me up to the summit.
Wow.
You just took it in one step at a time.
Okay, I like that. Mm-hmm. So instead of making this grand story to what if you just take one step at a time?
Exactly.
I love that. I think that would be a great thing if we implement that in our daily life, in our work, and everything. Is just like, just for today, just for now, and then move to the next level just for this step. That's amazing. Everyone, I want to remind you, phone lines are open and I want to hear from you. Dial toll-free 866-870-5752. We are here. So for someone feeling overwhelmed by the demands of life, and we were talking about challenges, you got your Emmy Award on The Survivor. Now, I think it's on the 37th season or something like that.
I think they're maybe 48 now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, because there's also The Great Escape. There's this one. There's that one. So there is more shows, the reality shows. Are those reality shows reality?
Well, I can't speak to every show. I can only speak to my experience and when I was working on Survivor,
That's
and
amazing.
that they were surviving. They had to.
Okay. As a hypnotherapist, I had to overcome the fear of snake. And then I had a snake wrapped around my hand and everything. And then I was sitting next to other snakes. So it took me a lot to get to be comfortable. But bugs and things like that, and living on a place like that. Did you, as a producer, were you also on site with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
So talk about challenge. Your challenge started overcoming challenges right there. So what gives you the thrill and joy? What makes you happy today?
What makes me happy today?
Yeah.
I have to say, I really love my life. I love writing. I love challenge. I love traveling. I love having these kinds of conversations.
Right. So where did you just come from? I mean, where was your last travel? Have you already traveled this year?
I just came back from Bhutan, the Kingdom of Happiness.
Oh,
yeah.
Must have been beautiful.
Yeah. Yes.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gorgeous.
So, before we go any further, our phone lines are open. If you have any questions, please do call 866-870-5752.
You're listening to Real Talk with Lisa, where conversations expand minds, open hearts, and guide you to heal within. Your host, Liza Boubari, is your go-to expert in the powers of mind, body, wellness, and transformation. With over 20 years of experience as a clinical hypnotherapist, stress management consultant, and speaker, she helps individuals like you go from pain to gain, releasing emotional blocks, resetting limiting beliefs, and reclaiming your power. Because you're more than your past, more than your fears, and yes, you do matter. Take the next step. Call 818-221-2797. Again, 818-221-2797. Or visit realtalk870.com. Now, let's get back to Real Talk with your host, Liza Boubari.
Well, we are back. Well, we've got a few moments to go over something. You just came from a beautiful trip and the happiness. What is next for you? What is next for Maria now that you have published that book and you're traveling everywhere? Are you doing another group travel?
I am. So what I'm doing next, my current book, Take a Shot at Happiness, How to Write, Direct, and Produce the Life You Want, also hit Amazon #1 for creative self-help. Yes, that was awesome. a recent
Congratulations.
thing. It was on one of the billboards in Times Square, so that's
sweet.
Yeah, so that's,
did you take your picture over there?
I did.
That's going to be next one.
Yeah. Yep. So in May
That's
going.
awesome.
Yeah, thank you. So in May I'm going to an award ceremony where I'm getting two book awards. And then I am writing my second book, and I'm writing it about abundance. Mm-hmm. And then I do have some trips coming up. I'm doing a private flying safari in Kenya, and I've got a couple of trips in Botswana. I've got a trip to Bhutan. That's why I was there. So,
okay, I might be interested in that one.
So I've got a few things.
That's very intriguing.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, safari is absolutely gorgeous. Africa.
Yeah.
Right?
It's my heart place. So if Africa is my heart place, which it has been for many years, Bhutan is now my spiritual place.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Because when I went to Tulum, I thought, okay, that is absolutely beautiful. But I'm also very much an ocean person. So when I go and I'm near the water, that's my zen. So I'm so intrigued by the safari and Bhutan. So I would love to know more about those. You never know. I might just join you. So before we go to the end of our show, the quote for today, I think this might be quite apropos, and it is by Rumi. It says, "You have no need to go anywhere. Journey within yourself. Enter a mine of rubies and bathe in the splendor of your own light." Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you so much for not only saying yes to being my first guest on A Real Talk with Liza, but your beautiful spirit, your energy, your graciousness, everything about Maria.
Thank you.
And I want to say thank you so much for tonight.
Thank you.
As we close out tonight's episode, I want to thank you and your insightful conversation on how we can bring more happiness to my listeners and to everyone else. And if you're ready to make lasting changes and take the next step forward towards living fully, I'm right here to help you, guide you. Please visit lizaboubari.com for more information. You may also call me 818-221-2797. Book a consultation. I offer a 15-minute consultation. By all means, just book a consultation. Let's talk. Let's explore ways how I can help you. Shift from life starts with one step. As Maria said, it's one step at a time, one habit at a time, one behavior at a time. So until then, I want to say everything in life happens for a reason. There are no accidents because there is always a cause and an effect. What you do with that is up to you. We can always be a victim or choose to be a victor. Life can happen, but what you can do with what happened is what you choose to do with it today. And as you said, take action.
Take a shot.
Exactly. Our past is part of our history. And what do we do with history? We read it to learn from it, to read from it, and understand certain aspects of it. But your story of what you can create from this day forward is up to you. Again, I'm Liza Boubari, and I want to say thank you for being a part of this show, no matter where you are, alone or with someone else. May God bless you and the universal light surround you always.